Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that 2023 is going well so far. We're here for the first full moon of the year, and in a lot of ways, I could say that this first full moon is really about this idea of continuing on with 2022 and the cycle of 2022. You could say it's almost a closing of the cycle because with Mercury and Mars still retrograde, it's really difficult to start to get the momentum and even the drive to get forward in the things that we might have planned, the goals that a lot of people make at this time of the year. Energetically, there might be a lot of ambition in the air, people wanting to get their plans done because we do have the sun going to be in the gate 54 for this full moon. So there's a lot of pressure to get things moving because they are all root gates that we're dealing with. What's interesting is that Mars and Mercury will both be direct, but by the time the Human Design year begins on January 22nd. And I'll talk about that in a later video because I plan on doing a full year ahead video to have the highlights of what we can expect as we go through the year. And with that said, let's get into the details. This full moon will be happening on January 6th at 16 degrees Cancer. And if you know what house this is happening for you personally, it will give you more details on how it might play out in your life. And if you want to get a free astrology chart, check out astro.com. And if you have your birth time and your birth date, you can get your free chart. Overall, we have an abundance of second and fourth lines with this full moon, and this really seems to talk about waiting for the right call for you, which means that just because someone offers you an opportunity or you get an invitation to do something, if it doesn't feel good or it doesn't feel like it's right for you, it's okay to say no and to wait for something better. Even with the line 2 that says we're waiting for the right call, when you combine it with the line 4, we see that it is important to stick with the plan that you have set for yourself. It's a fixed energy and it is also a foundational energy. So once you have all the details you need, then you know where you want to go. And if an opportunity just doesn't seem to match up with what you want, instead of panicking and just grabbing for it, it potentially may not be right for you. So aligning with your inner authority might be a good plan, especially with this full moon and for the next 2 weeks going forward. Full moons are culminations, so this is bringing all the energy of 2022 into our trajectory and asking us what we want going forward. There's no rush and really no pressure because there's still time to tweak the plans you have and to have everything in order as you move forward into 2023. Mercury is in the gate 54 line 3, which is called covert interaction. And it really talks about using inside information to push your agenda or to get ahead in some way because you have some sort of secret information. Ra Uru likened this to having information about someone's human design, body graph, or planetary transits, or some inside information that can give you a heads up on stuff that maybe people don't see, but you can. The other way this energy can work is in some way to make yourself indispensable to the higher ups so you can advance your career, because the gate 54 is always about ambition of some kind and wanting to move up the ladder of life, we could say. Although in some cases, this information that we have or aligning ourselves with the correct forces can work to our advantage, with Mercury retrograde, it may not work out exactly as we planned. So if we're trying to keep secret information or trying to keep the moves that we're making away from other people seeing it, they'll probably be discovered. So if you're using information to get ahead and you don't want others to know about it, then this is really not the time to play that card. Now more than ever, it's really a time to avoid any shortcuts or any quick plans that seem to propel you forward based on some information you have to share. Because, as I said, it may not play out as you want it to. Alternatively, this can be about helping someone to get ahead because they promise you that they're going to take you along when they achieve some form of success. But when they do become successful, they might forget you altogether. And with Uranus in the gate 2, line 2, this is really saying that you know the correct direction for you. And believing in your own inner knowing can put you on the path that is specific to you. One caveat is that with the Earth and Moon exalted in the gate 53, line 2, it really does point to the theme of redoing something that you might have tried in the past and it didn't work out as you wanted it to. This time around, you might have a second chance at success. The sun in the gate 54 line 2, discretion, encourages you to keep your plans for the future to yourself because people might tend to share your secrets with others. Again, this is the same kind of idea. If there's any information that you don't want other people to know, it's better not to say anything at all because this kind of energy has a tendency to have what you could say loose lips, and that people will hear about the things that you may not necessarily want them to hear about. And with the gate 54 line 2 and the gate 54 line 3 activated by the sun and Mercury, it's definitely a time to refrain from gossip of all kinds because once again, whatever you're saying can get back to those who you're talking about. So if you can, keeping your ambitious plans to yourself might be worthwhile. There will probably be a time in the future when you can use whatever information that you might have or any advantage that you know that will help you propel yourself forward. But for now, sitting on what you know can serve you well. Mars in the gate 16 line 3 reinforces the idea that waiting for right timing to move ahead with your plans might be a good idea, because with Mars here, there might be a tendency to jump into something new because you think that someone else will help you along. The same kind of concept. There's absolutely no problem with having people help you to reach your goals. In fact, that can be very beneficial in the long run. But this is about getting the right people to work with you instead. People who are fully focused on your dreams and aspirations. But with Mars here, there might be a potential for people to be looking at their own needs and not necessarily looking at your needs. With Venus in detriment in the gate 41 line 4, there might be an emphasis on maintaining the relationships in your life, even if they're not conducive to your growth. This can play out where your friends or relations are giving you advice that isn't necessarily in your best interest. The key is to see that your goals and dreams belong to you, and although it's fine to accept advice or input from others, ultimately your dreams are yours alone. When you allow others to redirect your focus, there's potential for your dreams to ultimately take a back seat to the dreams of other people. Your personal success usually comes when you're making the rules and deciding how to move forward into your future. And finally, we have Jupiter exalted in the gate 25 line 4. And this might even be considered an angel on your shoulder that says that when your intentions for your goals and success come from a place of integrity, then you might be afforded some form of protection that can help you propel forward into your future. This energy once again encourages you to stay in your authenticity because that is where the true rewards lie. And when the right opportunities show up, you'll be open and aware because when you stand in your truth, the universe can oftentimes reward you. So ultimately, sticking to your plan despite what others say or do might be the exact ingredient you need to make the goals and dreams you have set for 2023 manifest exactly as you have envisioned. Globally, this might be a time when there's an attempted coup or even someone who is blackmailing others to get their way that we might hear about in the worldwide stage. But with Mars and Mercury in retrograde, what they think they'll get for their efforts is nothing like they will probably actually receive. So let's see how it plays out. I hope you have a wonderful full moon. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you again soon.